Hello, everybody. Welcome to the interview. Of course, we have our favorite interviewee, Mr. Bradley Benner, and he is what I'm calling the content kingpin because, well, he just is. So, how you doing, Bradley? Welcome.
Oh, good, man. That's quite an introduction. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. I try, right? So, one of the things that you and I have been talking about a little bit, and we touched on it beforehand, is that we want to offer some good content about this whole, well, content thing, right? Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do marketing and content marketing, but you have a very specific way, right? Tell us a little bit about how you market and what you do in this whole content marketing. There we go.
Okay. Well, I got started in content marketing by accident. As part of my SEO agency, I was providing SEO services for clients, and I kind of stumbled upon the fact that blogging from the website, so from client websites, was one of the major factors that would help me to get the sites to rank in Google for the desired keywords, and which would drive leads to the business. And that's essentially what my job was to do, was to generate leads. So once I realized and kind of discovered that blogging consistently was what would help the sites to rank, I needed to kind of streamline the process, because content marketing, to me, again, it wasn't something I had ever planned on doing. I'm not a writer. I like the technical aspect of SEO. I don't like writing. So it's really painful for me to write because it takes me forever. So I was doing it actually for some of my own sites, my own lead gen sites, but also for some client stuff. And it wasn't possible for me to continue doing it. So at least when I had to write anything, because it took too long. So I discovered content curation back in about 2011, I think it was. There was a software program that had come out that was supposed to help curate, make it easier to curate content. And for those of you who don't know what curating is basically when you take other articles or content from the web that has that falls in line with a theme or a topic that you want to write about or publish something about, and you can collect other pieces of content on the web to help you to convey your own message, and using those other pieces of content in snippets of it or portions of that content to kind of reinforce your idea or your concept. And you add your own commentary, and you obviously cite the sources. So you give attribution back to the original sources. You make sure you link back and give credit to them. But it's great because it gives us the ability to use other people's content that are experts in their industry or their respective fields, so that we don't have to be experts in the fields that we want to create content on. All we have to do is understand how to locate or identify good content, and then organize it logically and convey a message, our own message or our own opinion or commentary into a particular topic that we want to get across with the piece of content that we're publishing. And so it makes the efficiency of generating content so much easier. And that's what I learned in 2011 when I came across, I don't even remember the name of the software, Curation Fire or something like that. It was a plugin, I think, for WordPress. But it introduced me into the concept of content curation. And so I learned how to do it for myself, because at the time I was still generating the content on my own. And once I learned how to curate, I realized my efficiency of generating content went through the roof. I was able to produce maybe 5 posts in about the same amount of time it would have taken me to write one before.
Wow.
And that's a significant increase in productivity,
5x, yeah.
Yeah, it got to the point because I was able to do it very, very quickly once I learned how to, and I was curating manually. That's the way I learned how to do it. Now, since then, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of tools and softwares out there that will help you, and applications, online apps, cloud apps, that kind of stuff that can help you to curate even more efficiently than what I had done. But once I had realized how quickly content could be produced, and the quality of the content went way, way up too. It was much higher quality when I didn't have to write it myself, because again, I didn't have to be an expert on any particular niche. Like if I was writing for a plumber, I would have to do some research about plumbing stuff and then be able to write an article that was semi, coherent about plumbing, and so it was just a painful process to research that. But if I want to curate an article about plumbing, I can go to high authority content sources where there are qualified experts that are writing articles, or or how-to videos on YouTube or whatever, and I can pull those in and use those to kind of help me to flesh out an idea without me having to do any research or be an expert on the subject matter. All I got to do is inject my own opinion or commentary. And so with that, once I learned how to do that and I saw the efficiency of it, I realized it could be outsourced, and that could be trained how to do. And so that's really how my content marketing business was born, was because I needed to scale because of the additional clients I was taking on, my agency and everything else. And I wanted to start providing that as an additional service to all of my clients. And so I learned how to hire some virtual assistants and train them how to curate. And what's great about that is I could charge my clients, for the content marketing services, but I could pay my outsourcers, my virtual assistants that I trained how to curate, a very, very small fraction of what I was charging the client. And all I had to do was manage the project, really. And that became a whole nother stream of revenue that, again, I never even planned on that. It just kind of evolved as my business evolved. And so that is one of my most steady streams of revenue in my business now. My agency today is content marketing. And it's great because it's not really it's not something that I have to do other than manage the projects, and occasionally, I have to go in and, talk to my curators, or the clients want something special done and they relay it to me and then I relay it to the curators. But other than that, it's pretty much hands off. Mm-hmm. So it's great.